or whomever is not able to attend. Just know that I might change this for next week. Instead of having it a Monday night, it might be Tuesday or Wednesday, but I'll keep you posted. Um, Tonight, I had it tonight because I have such a busy week this week, and I just want to, one, make sure I touch base with you guys because I'm not really sure when I'd be able to do this. Um, but I'll explain more once I kind of get into more of my background. But basically, welcome, and welcome to Full Sail, and welcome to Creative Presentation. I'm curious what programs all of you are in. I'm not really sure if, let me see here. I mainly teach in the entertainment business, music business program. I'm not sure if any of you are in that program, but I would love to know what other programs you are in. So if you want to just jot that out, or let me see if I unmute. It's still noisy, a little noisy. Seems like that's Keith. There's a lot going on in your background. Um, you guys can go ahead and talk. I can hear you. I've unmuted everybody, but I'm sorry, Keith. I haven't. I'm gonna keep you muted because there's a lot of white noise coming from your background. Um, so tell me, what program is everybody from?
I'm in the game design program.
Gaming? Okay, cool. What else? Anybody else? Nobody else wants to talk? You just want me to talk all night? Game design? Anybody else? No? Okay. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. Okay. Well, who am I? My name is Marianthi Trupis, and I understand that that might be a little difficult to pronounce. As you can imagine, I had a tough time myself in kindergarten, just writing it out. Oh, music production, awesome, awesome. So cool. Then I will definitely probably see you again because I'm in entertainment business and music business. Cool. Um, well, you're in production, but anyway, same thing. Um, so my name is Meredith Trupis. I know I look super young, but I promise you I am in my mid-30s. I've actually been in the industry for 12 years. I started off working, I graduated college from Indiana University of Pennsylvania. I'm not sure if any of you guys have heard of that. Actually, I'm going to share this other slide with you so you have a better idea. Well, let's just start off by let me tell you, I'm originally from Maryland, right out in Gaithersburg, right outside of Washington, D.C. Um, but I decided to go to a smaller school in Pennsylvania to play soccer. I wanted to play soccer in college, and I mainly picked a smaller school for a couple of different reasons. One, because I wanted to play. I didn't want to sit on the bench and redshirt, but I also wanted to be in intimate classes. I didn't want to sit in an auditorium setting. So I picked a smaller size school outside of Pittsburgh. I also got a partial scholarship, and I went there to study communications media. Because let's be honest, communications media is probably one of the easiest majors there is out there in undergrad. Easy in, easy out, not a lot of science, not a lot of math, you know. And I really was just thinking about playing soccer. That's all I really cared about at the time. But then I started becoming more involved in the television station that we had on campus and doing a lot of stuff behind the scenes. I tried to also anchor sports, and trust me, anchoring and reading off a teleprompter is not as easy as it looks. But I kind of fell in love with working in television and production. So I actually, my last year of college, I decided to quit playing soccer because I couldn't do both. There was no way I could do both. Excuse me, and I wanted to become more involved in the television station, which ended up leading to my first job out of college because I went to a convention and I met a person who was on the panel. I don't know if any of you guys have heard of National Broadcasting Society or anything like that, but that was a group that I was a part of at school. And we went to a convention. And stop me if I'm boring you, by the way. So we went to a convention, and a woman on the panel had said that she worked for Disney as a technician, pulling cable and stuff. And I'd never even thought about working for Disney. And I thought, oh, that I bet you that's a lot of fun, and you know what? That's probably going to look pretty good on my resume if that's a place that I want to work at, and decide to move on to something else. So sure enough, I actually ended up working for Disney. I ended up getting the job at Disney a few months after I graduated as a show technician for a Disney event group, which basically were like, they kind of call it um, um, like an in-house crew team for just for Disney. Um, Basically, we have a warehouse of equipment for audio, video, rigging, all that stuff, and we pull it into the ballrooms to set up for conventions and conferences and in-house events, and you name it, we did production for it. And I was part of the video crew team. So basically, we built everything up from video, cameras, camera packages, all that stuff, and then we operated it. And I kind of slowly learned about technical directing doing that, as well as operating cameras and stuff. And as you can see in the far upper right corner, I have a ginormous camera on my hands. Not sure if you guys have seen any of those before. That baby was like 20 pounds, probably because of the brick of the camera that was on it. But anyways, I was also a videographer for Disney Fairy Tale Weddings. Exciting, I know. Um, it's not really, but so yeah, so I did all of this for about 3 years at Disney, and then I thought, okay, it's time to put something else new on my resume. And I'm sure you guys know that Disney owns ESPN, ABC, that whole family. And so I looked online and I found a job at ESPN that was posted that was similar to this, but it was more in studio. It wasn't, um, in a conference setting. And so I applied. I applied for the job. I didn't know anybody at ESPN. Most people think you need to know somebody, and that's not true at all. Yes, it helps, but I'm not sure how many of you guys are sports fans or if anybody's interested at ESPN. I think some people are kind of getting sick of Sports Center because they've saturated it so much. But are any of you guys sports fans? While I keep rambling on, yes, no, maybe so. Feel free to write in the chat box there to let me know that you're still alive. Anybody? Saints fan. All right. Who dat? Right? Yeah. Breathing. Good. Good. I'm glad. Am I boring you guys yet? NFL, WWE. Well, you've come to the right place for WWE. That's okay if you're not a big sports fan. And you know what? We have a lot of technicians at ESPN that aren't sports fans, believe it or not. They're just really good at what they do, and they love doing it. So even if you don't like sports, ESPN's a cool place to work. So, well, cool. I'm glad you guys are alive and listening. Um, so yeah, so I applied, but I also found, because I had access working at Disney, I had access to the ESPN directory. I found all the recruits at ESPN, and I decided to email all of them and attach my resume to that and send it off and say that I applied for this such and such job, and I would love to hear from somebody. Um, and sure enough, it went from, I got a phone interview, which led to a job interview, which led to, working at ESPN. So I got to work there for about 7 years. I was at ESPN working as a, well, I started off as an operations technician, and then I moved on to becoming a technical director. I'm not sure if any of you guys know what a technical director is, but that bottom middle picture pretty much sums it up. It's like a ginormous board, and not everybody has a big board like that, but on shows. But it's a big board with all the sources, and basically, I have a director sitting next to me that's telling me to take camera one, take camera two, wipe this full screen, dissolve into this, and basically, I'm just punching. I'm punching cameras and effects and everything. So I did that the last 3 years of ESPN. Before that, I did a lot of operations, cameras, A2, assisting. They sent me off to ABC in New York City to do college football. It was pretty sweet gig. Had a lot of fun. I learned a ton working at ESPN. But then, after a total of, between Disney and ESPN, working a total of 10 years, of such a crazy schedule because you work nights, weekends, holidays. Forget it. If you're working in television, live television, you can kiss your social life goodbye. That's for sure. So, and I hope that doesn't scare you away because eventually you can earn one once you've worked harder in the industry. But, after a while, it kind of took a toll on me, and I realized it's not something I want to do for the rest of my life. And I love being a mentor, and I love training and teaching. And so I had heard about Full Sail, and I basically, I ended up quitting my job at ESPN. My father was furious. So, um, same here, Keith, meaning like you work long hours and weekends and stuff. Sorry, I missed your comment. Um, but yeah, so my father was furious because I didn't have another job. Most people try to play it safe, but I figured I'd move back here to Orlando and try to get the job at Full Sail. So I freelanced on the side while I was trying to. I'm not into sports. Okay, not a problem. I won't hold that against you. Okay. Um, okay, so where was I? Basically, I moved down here without a job, and I knocked on the door at Full Sail, and I was like, "Hey, I originally had talked to somebody, but I knew that if I hadn't moved down here, nothing would happen if I still stayed in Connecticut to do everything." So I moved down here, and they were like, "Look, we have a job for you. It's probably not one you want," but I was like, "I'll take it. I don't care." So I became a lab specialist here. That's how I started off in the business program. But I've recently, after 2 years, became a associate course director, which is why I'm here now. And so I got promoted earlier this year. I also got my master's earlier this year in entertainment business. So I kind of have an idea of what you guys go through on online because I had to do it online. I couldn't do campus classes. Um, so it's a double-edged sword for you guys because I know what you're going through and I know what you're going through. So you can't hustle a hustler, all right? Just warning you that right now, all right? So, um, but anyway, so I also do still continue to do freelance on the side. I work for the Golf Channel. I TD for the Golf Channel, and I also do a little AV here and there. I also have just recently, and this is why I'm going to be busy this week. I just recently picked up a gig for ESPN. I can't seem to quit them. I picked up a gig for ESPN working for college football at Disney's Wild World of Sports. Technically, it's ESPN's Wild World of Sports, but so we're gearing up for that this week, uh, and we're pretty much doing a whole show at Wild World of Sports for college football for games that are all over the U.S. Basically, they're turning the studio, and some of this might not make sense to half of you, but basically, we're turning the control room there into like a truck, like a remote truck for games and stuff. Bottom line is, I'm going to be super busy on Thursday and on Saturday. So I highly recommend that if you have any questions, to let me know by Wednesday or Friday because you probably won't hear from me till late Thursday night or late Saturday night. I'm just going to give you a heads up on that. Okay. I'm pretty available for the most part. Like I check my email before I go to bed. I do work sometimes at night. I'm kind of, because of my crazy schedule, I'm kind of a bit of a night owl still. I can't get over it. Not sure why. Just trying to adjust everything here. Okay, cool. So let me unmute you guys too, see if things have kind of quieted down. Nope. All right. So, but anyway, so that's me in a nutshell. And like I said, I'm pretty available to you guys for the most part. Feel free to email me. This is my contact information. You can iChat me if you want. I'm usually probably on right now because I'm still here at work, at the office. You can call my work phone and leave me a message, whatever you feel comfortable doing. Just know that on the platform, if you guys write me a message um, or a comment somewhere, it might get buried amongst other people's messages and stuff. So I just highly recommend that you email me because I might not catch your message because it would probably end up below the list of things that people other people have written. So I highly recommend just emailing me if you really, really need something. And let's see. Kelly, you raised your hand. Do you have a question? It just unmuted you. You need to unmute yourself if you have a question. If not, I will keep going. Does anybody have any questions as of right now? Kelly, your audio is not no bueno. Hmm. Does anyone have any questions? No? Okay. Well, I'll just keep going. I will keep going. So what we expect from students? I mean, I just expect you to be very involved, not waiting to the last minute to do stuff. Like you really need to time out your work accordingly. Um, the sooner you get stuff done, the sooner you probably have more free time on your hands later for the weekend or to reach out to me and I can answer any questions that you guys have. Um, we're just going to play it safe and just continue to mute all of you. So again, if you have any questions, let me know. Um, obviously no question is a dumb question. You're here to learn and I'm here to help you. Again, like mentoring is one of my passions. So just to help you and guide you, but I can't help you if you don't reach out. So if I don't hear from you, I'm just going to assume you're doing okay. But don't hesitate. Don't hesitate to talk to me about anything. Let's see, what else? I'll make sure I have all my notes here accordingly. Just be proactive. That's all it really comes down to is just being proactive in your work here. It's not easy, but I know you can do it and I know you get through it. What do students expect from us? Well, what do you guys expect from me? I kind of want to know what you guys are kind of looking for out of me, and you can go ahead and write that down and I can obviously read them. You write them down, but I would assume it's just to help you in any way I can and to give you thorough feedback. I try not to be like good job and just and take points off and not explain why I take points off, kind of thing. So, and I try to be as available as I can to you. So no expectations from anybody. You guys have low expectations. No expectations from anybody. Okay. You guys are still alive, right? Oh, to be there if I need help. Faux show. I can do that. Thank you. Thank you, Keith. Thank you for answering me. Um, Copyrighted material. We're definitely very serious about copyrighted material. So, especially with this class, with presentations, you need to source everything. All of the images that you've put on your presentation, all the quotes, everything. And you'll learn more about that on the platform as far as copyrighted material. And you can't necessarily just pull anything off of Google for images and use it. So we got to be really careful with that as well. College level writing standards. Basically, we hold you to a high standard. Academic dishonesty. Yes. Thank you. College level writing standards. You'll see as you start to do papers and stuff, we look for APA format. You're not in high school anymore, and I don't know if some of you are coming straight out of high school or if you're coming from, from a regular college, what your history is with writing, but please, especially when you're writing in discussions, don't lowercase thing just like I, and don't just put you, like the letter U. Basically don't talk to me or your classmates like you're writing a text message. Write everything out. Be professional when you write. proofread your work for sure. Sometimes the best thing to do when you're writing in a discussion board is to pull up a Word doc or Pages or whatever you like to use, Google Docs, I don't care, but something that'll help you check your work. So, write it all out on a document and then copy and paste it into the platform. So for two reasons: one, it'll check your grammar and everything, and two, God forbid you're like sitting there writing something on the platform and then all of a sudden everything goes down and you've lost everything. So it's the worst feeling ever. So I just recommend just writing it out first, saving it, and then copying and pasting it onto the platform. Cool? Cool, cool. Professionalism. Professionalism, we basically, um, I take off points for if you don't turn in an assignment, if you're late on something. So it's a bit different professionalism online than it is on campus. Because obviously, if you were on campus and you showed up late, that's definitely points taken off professionalism. If you're sleeping in class. But in this case, it's really just about, are you turning stuff in on time? Um, are you completing it to your ability? Kind of thing. So just stay on top of that, and you can't go wrong with it at all. So why Resonate and Slidetology? I hope you guys have been able to download your books. Is there anybody that's had an issue with downloading their book? If so, speak now or forever hold your peace. Mm-hmm. I have. Cool. Okay, cool. Awesome. Awesome. You guys are awesome. You guys are awesome already. I feel it. Cool. There's supposed to be an email sent. Well, it should also say on the platform about downloading it. But I would assume you had gotten an email about it. But send me a message privately, and we can figure that out too. What was sent to you, but you should definitely go on FSO. It's on Safari Books. So if you go to safaribooks.com, you sign up and everything, you should be able to download those with no problem. I'm reading it, but I haven't downloaded. How are you reading it, but you haven't downloaded it yet? I'm confused. How do you read something you haven't downloaded yet? But okay, well, I'll let that go. I think there was a link. Okay. Oh yeah, because there's one. Well, for Resonate, I think there's also a link. You're right. There's also a link, and then you can also download it on Safari Books. Yes, thank you. Okay, cool. Um, so Nancy Duarte, she's the author of these books. She's an American writer. This is her company. She has her own company, Duarte, and does amazing work as far as presentations and how to grasp an audience and how to tell stories and stuff like that. So I think you might, those who have already started reading it, I hope you've found it to be pretty interesting. I find her to be very interesting. There's a lot of TED Talks out there about her as well. So if you want to learn more about her, don't hesitate to kind of look her up and do some research. But these books are definitely helpful. One is more about storytelling, and the other is about images and to help you with your presentations visually and stuff. So again, let me know if you have any issues getting those squared away. Let's see. Presentations can be boring. Can be very boring, and some people are not very good at it. That's for dang sure. When I did a lot of AV work, not just at Disney, but some other places, I've seen like CEOs and doctors and stuff give these presentations, and visually it's awful. Like, I cringe, and I just want to tweak it so bad for them to fix it. And you would think these people probably, don't they have like an assistant to help them make this look appealing or whatnot. And this class will help you, so that's not you. God forbid you have your own your own company and you're giving a presentation, and man, it's bad. It looks bad. Yes, I'm sure you understand the boring part for sure. Has anybody sat through a presentation and fallen asleep basically, or was like, this is awful? And if so, why? Why do you think that is? Is it the storytelling? Is it because the person's pretty monotone? You know, um, just or what they were saying didn't make any sense at all, or you just didn't believe in it because you felt that they didn't believe in it. These are things that kind of help bring out a presentation. Most times, just monotone. Yeah, monotone. People are boring. Um, didn't keep your attention. Yeah. And visually appealing or something's not so visually appealing. The story, yeah. And people probably just not good storytellers. And again, that's what you're going to learn um, this month is about storytelling and everything. So, well, we just kind of discussed that. So basically, this quote here, um, Socrates, like, education is the kindling of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. So it's a great quote. However, just looking at it on a blank background really is not, resonating with anybody, is it? Like, not me. But let's say we take this quote and we put it over an image such as this. Um, it kind of hits your heart a little bit more, seeing an image like this. Education is the I can't talk today, of a flame, not the filling of a vessel. So does this image, you think, help this quote a little bit more, bring it out a bit more? Yes, no, maybe so. Yes, cool, cool, cool. So you guys are kind of getting the picture here. You can take it in any direction, basically. This movie, yes, it does add contrast for sure. Um, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I'm not sure if you guys were born when this movie came out, but that's what this image is from this movie. For those that probably have, and please forgive me if some of you are about the same age as I am. Please forgive me. You can tell me, and I promise I won't put you all in a group together. Um, Basically, in this movie, they kind of go back in time and everything, but and this is where they meet. They call him Socrates instead of Socrates, so that's kind of the running joke behind all that. Probably not as funny to you because you've probably never seen the movie. So basically, these images help bring out the quote a little bit more and a little bit better. What elements are needed during a presentation? You basically need a beginning, middle, and end because, again, it's all about storytelling, right? You have to identify with characters and structure. You want your audience to buy into what it is that you're basically trying to sell to them. Here, I have some videos. This reminds me of some videos to share with you to kind of give you an idea of effective and ineffective. First, I'll show you an ineffective presentation. Okay. And it might glitch a little because the connection. Can you all hear this? Can't hear it? Oh.
Land.
Well, that's not fun. Can you hear it now? All right, starting take 2.
Quadruple checking notes as people file in, getting the computer ready, and asking everyone to take a seat. Pretending to click something on the computer to cover up the fact that I don't know what to do with myself.
Arriving just in time.
Wrapping up our conversation about a popular TV show we watched last night.
Disdain for popular TV show.
Mediocre icebreaker joke. That doesn't quite land. attempt to redeem myself by making fun of that guy.
Laughing at that guy.
Laughing because he's laughing and I like him.
Not laughing, and now checking out for the rest of the session.
Title, dramatic pause of my presentation.
Question about how long this session will last?
Annoyed, vague response.
Exaggerated eye roll.
Poignant quote from unknown philosopher to kick off presentation in dramatic fashion. Juvenile slide transition to spice things up. Reading a long paragraph exactly as it appears on the PowerPoint slide about a shocking statistic I just learned about, followed by all kinds of vague lingo that no one will remember 2 seconds from now, capped off by 3 bullet points. Proudly pause to make sure everyone notices my awesome clip art choice. Out-of-date pop culture reference.
Correction about the pop culture reference.
Defending pop culture reference by citing social networking site no one uses.
Audible sigh to make sure everyone knows this is a complete waste of my time.
Serious and somewhat over-the-top reminder about how important this information is. Unexpected technical difficulty. Embarrassment. People can see my desktop background.
Snide remark about how Macs are better than PCs.
Desperate plea for IT guy.
Fixing the problem with an annoyed look on my face so that everyone knows how good at computers I am.
Unfunny video I'm really proud of having created myself.
Texting my friend in a way that I think is discreet.
Clearly aware of the texting. Prefacing a preface of a preface so that no one really understands the point that I'm prefacing. And now, going through a long list of facts, one by one by one. Asking if anyone has any questions. Reminding everyone there are no bad questions. Hoping if I wait long enough, someone will finally have a question. Concluding by restating the title of my presentation and dismissing everyone. Excited that someone came back for a follow-up conversation.
Grabbing pen that I accidentally left.
So that basically sums up the cliche of presentations. Have you guys, does that pretty much sum it up for you for the most part? Yes, yup, cool.
Tyler and Justin had an idea for their own.
You don't want to learn about Howard. I watch a lot of listen to a lot of Howard Stern interviews because you know what? Talk about someone who's an amazing interviewer. He interviews a lot of amazing celebrities and stuff. Okay, that's besides the point. So here is actually what a great presentation looks like. And this is from Shark Tank. For those of you that probably aren't going to be in music business or entertainment business, you won't get sick of Shark Tank. If you are, then you will get sick of Shark Tank because we show a lot of it. But anyways, I'll play this for you, and hopefully you'll understand this point as well.
My name is Johnny Georges, and I live in Arcadia, Florida, and I'm the creator of the GTT.
Hi, boys. It's done.
I've been working with farmers in the irrigation business for 29 years. My father is the one who inspired my business. He taught me everything I know and gave me the vision I have today. Back in the 80s, when I started working for my father, we didn't have water shortages. Today, it's all changed. Farmers must have a more efficient and less expensive way to water their crops so they can survive. My product is unique because it is the start of a new industry for agribusiness, and there's nothing like it on the market today. My business has had its ups and downs, that's for sure. But changing 30 years of the way people practice their irrigation takes time. I need an investment from the sharks to grow this business. I want to promote water conservation worldwide, and without them, there's no way for a guy like me to do that.
Do any of you guys watch Shark Tank?
sharks. My name is Johnny Georges. I'm the creator of the Tree
pretty
TP
good.
water containment system. I'm asking for $150,000 for 20% of my company. Tree TP is water conservation and frost protection at its finest. Instead of using 25,000 gallons per tree per year, we're now only using 800 gallons per tree per year and doing a better job with a 30% increase in the growth of new trees and letting the farmer get his return on his money a whole lot faster. When good people come together, when good people come together with a noble cause, great things happen. And water conservation is what 3TP is all about. Can you tell us how it works? The normal waste bin has been without any kind of containment. A farmer would crank on his pumps and run them 10 hours, 12 hours. With the 3TP, you contain the water around each tree in about 30 minutes. You're going to have 3 inches of rain on this tree. And if I pull this tree TP off, we're watering 9 feet that way and 9 feet that way. And it's just really wasting the water. About 10% gets to the tree.
And nobody figured out a way to make a nozzle that shoots down towards the tree roots?
Yes, sir, but you still get the wind diffusion from that.
So I put an irrigation line on every tree. That's what's happening. And right now, before the tree TP, I was putting 25,000 gallons a year onto that tree.
Yes, sir.
Now I buy the tree TP.
Yes, sir.
I only put 800 gallons.
Yes, sir.
So I'm saving a lot of money
in fuel
and water.
Yeah,
pumping the water to the tree costs me dollars, electricity.
Yes, sir. Yeah,
okay.
Electricity or fuel.
And the water itself I got to pay for.
Yes. No, you don't have to pay for the water in the state of Florida and California, you do.
But you're selling the GTP in California, right?
I'm only selling in a 5-county area in the state of Florida.
How much does it cost to make one?
$2.95.
$2.95?
Yes, sir.
How many have you made and how many have you sold and what do you sell them for?
Okay, I have made 127,500 TPs. I'm selling them for an average for $4.50 each.
How much?
$4.50 each.
Okay.
I make $1 each.
So you sell direct to the farmer?
Yes, sir.
So you don't have any distributors in there?
No, sir.
Johnny, do you have a patent on this?
Yes, sir. I have a utility patent.
How long does it usually last? One season?
No, sir. We leave them on for 5 years.
Yeah, it
That
never
can stay on for
breaks.
5 years?
Yes, sir. These things last over 20 years.
Okay.
How long have they been on? What's the oldest one out there?
1984.
Still out there.
My father was an innovator in the irrigation world. We used to bank trees to make a long one short. What that means is we'd take a shovel before the freeze night and cover the trees up with dirt. After the freeze, we'd go pull them off. We were out in the grove, and I said, Dad, can we do something different? So he came up with a little bitty TP we'd put on for that night and then pull it off the next day. So I look at him and I go, let's make these things bigger and we can leave them on year round. Look at the water we could save. Well, 1984, he looked at me and said, oh, you're crazy. Water's cheap. Doesn't matter.
That's changed.
That has changed a lot.
Haven't any distributors come to you and said, we want to sell this or we want to distribute it for you? We can take it way outside of Florida? Well, have you not called on any of them?
I haven't called on any of them.
Do you know what your market is? Do you know how
Florida,
many?
I do, yes, ma'am.
But
we have 42 nurseries. 19 are commercial. The rest are private with growers growing their own trees.
And those are the only people you've sold to?
Yes, sir.
Just the people you've done irrigation
Just the people I know.
Wow.
This last freeze, I go out to a grove. I'm putting out 5 TPs. This woman gets out, and she walks up to me, and she says, you're trespassing in my grove. And I said, yes, ma'am, but I'm trying to show you something that's getting ready to freeze. We have the best frost protection device on the market right here we could put on. And she says, you got to go. I'm calling the police. And I said, yes, ma'am, here's my card. I'm sorry. Because these are farmers. This is their land. This is their livelihood. So a week later, I get a call from the same woman. Hey, Johnny, this is Mrs. I said, yes, ma'am. She says, I want to pay you for them 5 TPs. And I said, yes, ma'am. That's okay. Don't worry about it. She says, well, I want you to bring me 4,995 more. The only 5 trees I got alive today.
Wow.
And my whole grove is these.
Is there anything like this on the market?
No, sir. There's no water containment system out there for the micro sprinklers.
Why only $5? Why not charge $10 or $12 or $15 or $20?
Because I'm working with farmers and they're not buying one. They're buying 20,000.
Why not $7?
10,000, sir.
Even at $10,000, right? Why not $7?
Well, I've never done that. I've always tried to be right. I make $1 off each one. If I sold 7,000 yesterday, I made 7
Johnny,
grand.
you can see a partner that, let's say I was a big distributor of water irrigation systems, and I see this product and you show it to me, and you make it for $2.50 and you sell it for $5, right?
I'm making it for $2.95. I sell them for $4.50.
Okay, so I can't get involved with you because there's not enough margin for me as a distributor. I need to be able to sell it for $12 at least, so that I can make some profit and you can make some profit, right? Because there's two of us, 2 mouths to feed.
Yeah, but you're selling to farmers.
Okay, I get it, but I'm exploring where your head's at, all right?
Okay.
That means that there's no room in it for a distributor that can really scale this up. Because you said every farmer should have it. Every farmer in America does.
Every tree that goes in the ground should have a tree.
But in order for that to happen, I need a lot of Johnnies. There's only one of you. I need like 2,000 Johnnies calling on farmers all across the land. Now, who's going to pay them, Johnny? Who's going to pay them? I'm out.
Johnny?
Yes, sir.
Farmers are the cornerstone of America. There may be a lot of farmers out there that can't afford $12 per tree, but maybe they could afford $6 or $7. I'm going to give you everything you're asking for, your $150,000 for 20%. What you're doing is right, and you deserve the chance to make it big and do a lot of good. I'd like to be your partner, Johnny. I like everything you stand for, man, and I like everything.
I think that's a yes, JP. Yes, sir.
Okay, man.
Good for you.
Congratulations.
All right.
God bless America. Show that it
Thank
works.
you. Thank you.
All right.
Yay!
Well done, partner. I'll take that one, too.
I love that you care about the farmer.
Johnny, tell your dad he's a great man.
He died 12 years ago.
Oh.
Still a great man.
He made me who I am. We work hard every day. I worked for that man for 20 years. I thank God that I got to work with that man. He's an innovator. He taught me everything I know. He was hard on us, but nobody owes you nothing. Life is what you make it. He taught me that. And he was a great man. He came from nothing.
You're a star, Johnny. Man, congratulations.
Super star.
God bless you, Johnny.
Thank you. I come here today and go in front of the Sharks. I didn't have a clue that it was going to be like that, you know. I'm going home as a billionaire for a business partner. It's all good, brother. You know, I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
Next time on Shark.
Oh, we're not worried about next time. But you know, it was very heartfelt, right? It was very heartfelt, and I think that, and you guys, you know, tell me what you think too. Like, I think because of the passion behind it, and he really believed in it. You know, you'll see next week. I posted a video of someone who I thought is really good at giving speeches because he's so passionate. You know, behind everything. And I don't know if it's just the athlete in me too, that's like, I need somebody who just is all in and wants me to be better and is just, you know, wants to do better. Yep, correct. He didn't make it about himself, and he was very honest, and, you know, he was very loyal, you know, and he had integrity, right? He had a lot of integrity because he didn't want to, you know, he didn't want to be greedy as far as, you know, charging his farmers more. He understood that not the farmers don't always make a lot of money. Yep, and he didn't give in to the pressure. Correct. You guys are all right. Cool. So I hope that kind of helps you move along as you guys think about your audience and how you want to tell your stories and how you want people to believe in what you believe in. You know, when you do a presentation, whether it's with obviously images or not, you know, it's all about the way you tell the story. So let's see here. How do you relate to your audience? So you basically need to know who your audience is when you're doing a presentation. You need to analyze who they are. You know, obviously you don't want to pitch to somebody that doesn't believe in the same thing that you do, because it's going to be a losing battle, right? So, you know, what makes your audience tick? Imagine them as individuals, right? So, and do your audience members share one thing in common? You know, segment your audience. Segment meaning like, you know, the demographics of your audience. Like, what can you find out about them? Yes, he was honest. Definitely Harmony. So what can you find out about your audience as far as their demographics? Like, are they middle class? Are they upper class? Are they people who watch sports? Are they not people who watch sports? Are they people who are into gaming? Those are the things you got to find out about your audience. What's the age? What ages do they kind of round between? Are you pitching to mainly males, females? That kind of thing is trying to figure out who your audience is, and that kind of helps you kind of form the way you're going to tell the story, because obviously we tell a story based on our audience and how we think they want to hear it, right? Meeting the hero, again, same thing. It's just about your audience. You are the mentor in that moment. You are the person that's kind of providing guidance and information and being the confident one. So as a mentor, what do you provide to the heroes? The heroes being your audience. And then how are you going to connect with them? What's something that you can find to connect with them? Even in an interview, and I know you guys probably saw, hopefully if you haven't, hold on, let me see here. I'm going to show you something. So in today's discussion, or for Wednesday, sorry, I'm already forgetting what my days are. Yes, don't talk down to people, for sure. Definitely don't talk down to people. Don't act like you know everything, right? So when we talk about presentations, we're not just talking about like, what you saw the first video where it's just like a conference or something and it's a meeting and it's like X, Y, and Z. Like you could be, think about the fact that your presentation could be like pitching your idea like they did on Shark Tank, or it could be you're giving a training session to your coworkers if you have your own business, or you're in charge, or if you're part of management and you're training somebody, like how are you going to connect with them to do what it is to motivate them? In interviews are also a way to pitch and present yourself. So what I'm trying to say is that in order to connect with your audience, sometimes when you're doing a presentation or an interview, especially, and this is what I say to all my students, also when you're in the middle of an interview, basically, ask them like, well, how did they get to this company, and what have they done? And because bottom line is, believe it or not, everyone loves talking about themselves. Everyone loves talking about themselves. And so, and then maybe you can perhaps in that conversation find something that, you have in common with them. And then it kind of makes the conversation not as serious and a little more casual, kind of thing. And then you can kind of, it brings out your personality, it brings out their personality type of thing. So that's kind of like figuring out a way to connect with somebody. So yeah, and just selling yourself in general kind of thing. So when you guys write your post for Wednesday, consider some of these things that you're going to be working on as well. Let's see. It's storming in here. I don't know if you guys probably can't even hear it, but it's storming right now outside. We were supposed to have that hurricane and it never came, but I think this is part of it. What else? I mean, planning and mapping out what it is you're going to say. That's also an assignment that you have this month, basically writing out everything of how you're going to share your presentation. What are you going to use to share your presentation? Making points for yourself so that way you can prepare yourself before you start actually building something. And I even say this too, is just best to write everything out, write a script out, figure it out what it is that you want to say, and then work on the visuals and how you want to present it and stuff. So, I mean, some of this is kind of common sense, but process of creating, that's all right. So, again, I feel like this is all redundant. So basically, what I can share with you right now Hopefully you guys have been on the platform already, and you'll see here that some things are open already and other things won't be open till later next week. Everything's broken up into each week. So this week you have a discussion board due on, by the way, does anybody have any questions? I feel like I keep rambling and I'm not stopping to ask to see if you guys have any questions. So just don't hesitate to ask. So you have your readings, you have your list of chapters that you need to read this week. You also have your discussion board that's due Wednesday. You have your first post that's due Wednesday, and your second post, you have response posts that you need to do that is not due until Sunday. And that this week is kind of a little different because of Labor Day weekend, so due dates might be a little weird, but just double check everything. Just double check everything, bottom line. Read your instructions inside and out. You also have rubrics to everything. And by rubrics, I'm going to show you. Pretty much every assignment and every discussion post has a rubric. This is your rubric, okay? Consider this like a checklist, basically. Okay, this is your checklist for all the things that you do. If you follow everything in exemplary, you will receive an A on all of your work. Okay, ignore all this, and just follow this. If you have pinpointed everything that's asked of you, and not even just on this, but on the instructions, but usually it kind of parallels with what's saying here. Can you guys see I don't even know if you can see my mouse. But under exemplary, then you will not fail. You cannot fail, okay? And this goes for any class and every class. Majority of your classes, you're going to have these rubrics, and you're going to have these discussion posts. And try not to miss anything. Do it early. If you think you're going to miss something, do it early. If you think you're having issues, contact me. The sooner, I was just, not to get too deep because it's not really much to talk about, but I just got off the phone with another student who wanted to wait till the last minute to complain that they didn't love their grade, but everything, they didn't contact me soon enough. So, I can't help you after the fact. I can only help you before the fact. All right. So kind of be prepared for that in the long run. But anyway, so follow the rubric. And in your discussion posts, these are all the same for like almost every class. You have the RISE model. We use the RISE model here at Full Sail when you're writing your response posts. Try not to miss your response posts, the ones that are due on Sunday, because that takes a big hit on your grade, okay? Believe it or not. So try not to miss those. But with your response post, you're using the RISE model. The RISE model basically helps you to kind of shy away from writing, I agree with what you wrote, kind of thing. This is a way we do these response posts so you can interact with your classmates online. And rather than just saying, I agree, or that was great, utilize the RISE model to kind of talk more, interact more. You basically are writing at least 4 sentences, and each sentence represents the following: the reflect, the inquire, the suggest, and the elevate. Okay? And there's examples here to kind of give you an idea of what those mean. So reflecting, you're basically kind of repeating what somebody wrote in their post so they know that you actually read their post. Okay, we have a question. We are supposed to post on the discussion board or in the activity. For the discussion board, you're supposed to post on the discussion board. So everything's separate. The assignments are separate from the discussion boards, if that answers your question. So kind of like what I said before, make sure you write everything out on a document and then copy and paste it on the discussion board. And then when you are doing your response post, you'll see the reply button, and you'll hit reply to whomever you want to respond to, and then you'll write out your secondary post, your response post. So like I was saying, your first sentence would probably be, reflect, repeating, maybe pointing out something that somebody wrote so they know you read it. Inquire, ask a question. Hey, did you ever think about, blah, blah, blah. And then suggest, perhaps it's another question, or you're just kind of giving somebody help with their thoughts and stuff. And then elevate, just something positive you perhaps would write to your classmates. So you should always write at least 4 sentences, each representing those 4 elements of the RISE model. So does it go on? Okay, so I believe what you're asking is, so I see it differently than you do. So it might be, this might be the same. Right here where it says post, this is where you would post your response for your discussion post. Does that make sense? In this area right here? So this is just an example to show you kind of thing. Comments, this is between you and me. So if you have any issues or something, this is between you and me. But I won't see it. Again, I might not see this as much as I would see it in messages. Okay? Okay, good. You did it right. Awesome. That's what I want to hear. Good. Okay. So yeah. So you're going to write your initial post here. You're going to wait till pretty much majority of your class has posted everything. Your first post is due before midnight on Wednesday. Okay? So make sure you get that done. Again, being late definitely takes a big hit on your grade. So your first post is done before midnight on Wednesday. And I'm glad to see that some of you guys have already posted. It's awesome. It's really awesome that you guys start early. Plus, I can start early grading too, and I try to grade ASAP for you guys. And then again, your second post is due Sunday before midnight. And then you'll hit your, reply, which is kind of the same like you would see here in the example below. Okay. So that's for your discussion. Again, make sure you use the RISE model. Make sure you follow the rubric. Make sure you read all the instructions carefully. Sometimes people miss questions that they were supposed to answer or, whatnot. So make sure that you read everything. Don't rely on myself, or because I might not tell you everything, just because I tend to forget. So make sure, that's why we have instructions on here to help you and guide you through everything. Okay. Do any of you guys have any questions about the platform in general? Because I know this is kind of your first time with everything, and I'm used to students that are have already started through their program, so they kind of understand everything. But if you have any questions about the platform in general, let me know. Platform FSO, I call it either or, potato, whatever. So, but messages, excuse me, I shouldn't show those, but the best way to contact me is in those messages there rather than the comments. Well, the class time, yes, I will make sure to always post what time and when we'll have another go-to training. It won't be till next week. I'm only doing these once a week. Again, I'm going to be super busy this week, but I literally sit at home sometimes at night on the couch and I just do work. My fiance doesn't love it, but I try to help you guys in the best that I can. So let's see. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I can help you with before we wrap up. You don't know about the platform. Have you logged into FSO yet? This is the platform that I'm showing you right now. You should have access to it. And if you don't, you definitely need to get it before Wednesday, before your first discussion is due. I would say, okay, that's what you mean. Okay, cool. I'm glad. Glad to know. Otherwise, I'm going to say, maybe you won't know why we're here. Okay, cool. Anything else from anybody else? Again, I'll just You should have my information on the platform as well. If you don't, here it is again. Email me. Emailing me is probably the best thing, is the best way to reach me, by emailing me or on the platform, because I'll see those first before, because I'm not always at my desk. There's 2 days out of the week where I work from home, so I'm not always at my desk. Cool, everyone understands the platform. It's just viewed differently than what I see and what you see are two different things, so. All right. I mean, if nobody else has any other questions, we can pretty much wrap it up. I hope I didn't bore you too much. And, let me know if you need anything. Again, always here, always happy to help. Yeah, no problem. I just, I realize this is your first time doing all this, and I just want to make sure you guys understand what's going on, and because I don't really know what they show you before you start class on the platform, but, I don't expect you to know everything, but obviously I expect you to ask if you don't know. So, again, I can't help you if you don't ask, all right? And don't wait till the last minute to do anything. Try to get everything done. Get it out of the way. Enjoy your weekend. Good. Good to know. Awesome. Good to know. Yeah, I don't know if I'm going to post it. I might post this on the platform. If not, then everybody is kind of SOL. Because I think I gave more information than what they would get just on the platform. So, and I'm glad you guys come too. I don't want to just have these things and nobody shows up. It's kind of sad when it's just me. So, anyway, cool. Well, I'll let you guys enjoy your Monday night. What's on tonight? Anything good? I'm trying to think. No, I don't know if there's anything good on tonight. But anyway, all right. You guys enjoy the rest of your evening. And that is all. All right. Bye.